Welcome everyone to the Pantheon of M. I am your host Ray, and today we're looking at the 2019 movie The Fanatic, starring John Travolta and Devon Sawa. It's directed by Fred Durst. Notably, you'll know him from being the lead singer of Limp Bizkit. This was nominated for a Razzie for Travolta's performance, but I will say that Travolta was committed to this. He was on Good Morning America when promoting this movie and said, air quote, that this is one of the most proudest roles he's ever done. The character he portrays, his name is Moose. He's a Hollywood street performer. He usually walks around Hollywood Boulevard as a British officer, or the Bill, as they would refer to it. And his character of Moose is someone I would say is on the spectrum. He's sort of like a man-child. And this is a stretch for Travolta. I mean, he usually plays a very cool, calm, suave, or charming, or sophisticated individual. This is the most removed character that I've seen Travolta play in years. So if he says that this is his most proud work, it's because it's the most challenging he's ever done, because it goes against type in almost every facet of what he's doing. The decision he makes goes against what he would normally do. It's kind of like working against your acting muscles, and it's something that is very different. Let's see. According to IMDb, just to kind of give you the insight to this summary of this, it says The Fanatic. It's a rabid film fan stalks his favorite action hero, and destroys the star's life. That is an aptly approach to what you're seeing. Devon Sawa plays Hunter Dunbar, the object of Moose's affection. He is kind of like the Tom Cruise kind of character who's a diehard fan of his. Dunbar is probably in his twilight years of his stardom, and Moose just wants to get his autograph, and he doesn't understand the limits of distance. When you're getting too close to a star or celebrity, you got to give him some space. He doesn't understand that. And the day he goes for his autograph, Dunbar is having a crisis himself. I mean, he's a custody issue with his wife over his child. He is not at the pinnacle of his career anymore, so he's having his own set of problems. At the same moment, all Moose sees is his star, and he's wondering why he's not acknowledging him, because he's put so much effort and money to see his star, and he's worked all his life to try to get to this point. And it's two different perspectives. The movie itself is narrated by a third perspective. Moose's best friend, her name is Leah. She's a paparazzi reporter. She kind of gets dirt on the celebrities, and she kind of, as a birthday gift to Moose, sneaks him into a party where his hero Hunter Dunbar will be at, and it kind of ends sort of on a uncomfortable note, because again, Moose is somewhat of a man-child, kind of again on the spectrum, and he has social inept aptitudes, and so that kind of gets him in confrontations. This movie, I will give it a 5 out of 10. There's a lot of things that go well with it. It's a little over the top and excessive and silly and trite, but Travolta does commit to this role 100%. One of the things that bothered me is I've been to Hollywood Boulevard, I've been to LA, and I've been around the scene quite a bit. So the shots where you see him on a tricycle or traveling up and down Hollywood Boulevard, it is completely a jumbled mess. If you look carefully, you can look at the El Capitan movie theater in the background. It's on your left in one scene, and on your right shortly after that, and then back on your left. He's traveling up and down the street of Hollywood Boulevard, and it makes no sense. It's a jumble. He's trying to make a montage of sequences of how Moose kind of travels and works his way, but you would think he's going a straight line from one point to the other, and it's not. It's left and right, left, further left, and then more to the right. So it's if you didn't know where he is, you'd probably forget it and not think twice about it. But I guess if you live in LA or been to LA, and been specifically along the Hollywood Boulevard, it's annoying, and it catches your eye, and you can actually see some of the landmarks in the background repeating itself. So that's kind of a chaotic and sort of lazy editing or camera work. So that's what I'll say about that. But anyways, I'd like to hear your points of view. You can send us a tweet at the Pantheon of M on our Twitter account. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll probably reply to you if I can. Most likely, I probably will. But until then, I will see you in a couple of days with Evie as we do our next review. But until then, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.